10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Luca, an Italian space agency's podcast. The characters and exploits of man's great adventure to conquer space. Luca Parmitano, into space for the love of Mother Earth.
I don't think that a person can choose to become an astronaut. You can maybe dream to be one, and that's a dream that I've had for forever. And as a matter of fact, one of my first memories as a kid comes from when I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, and one of my swimming instructor from swimming class asked us, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I reply, I want to be an astronaut. So it is a dream, and it's always been with me.
Dreams sometimes come true. Luca Parmitano has made it. Today, he's an astronaut of the European Space Agency. He was the first Italian national to carry out an extravehicular activity on July the 9th, 2013, with 6 hours and 7 minutes of spacewalk. He was also the first Italian astronaut in command of the International Space Station during Expedition 61. He is a cold-blooded Sicilian, despite growing up in Catania where the air is hot and Mount Etna is a sign of destiny, a fire-spouting mountain that reminds us of the power of the earth and the greatness of creation. Born in September 1976 under the Libra sign, he has a bachelor's degree in political science. His passion for flying has always been stronger than that for international law. So much so that in 1995, he joined the Air Force at Pozzuoli. He completed his basic flight training with the U.S. Air Force at the Euro-NATO jet pilot training in Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas, USA in 2001. Luca then flew the AMX aircraft with the 13th Group, 32nd Wing in Amenta, Italy from 2001 to 2007. He obtained all his aircraft qualifications in Germany, Belgium, and France, earning a master's degree in experimental flight test engineering at the National Higher French Institute of Aeronautics and Space, ISAE, in Toulouse. Promoted to the role of colonel in the Italian Air Force, Luca has a very solid and viable experience. He's logged more than 2,000 hours of flying time. He is qualified on more than 20 types of military airplanes and helicopters. Going from the sky to space is not an impossibility. Luca was assigned to Volare as his first long-duration mission on the International Space Station. He spent 166 days in space, conducting over 20 experiments on human physiology, fluid physics, biofuels, and space radiation after being launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on a Soyuz rocket on May 28, 2013. Reminiscing about his first mission, Luca Parmitano said, "I remember the first time I saw the sunrise over Japan 10 minutes after the launch, when I was still aboard the Soyuz. I realized that life had given me an extraordinary gift. I feel privileged, like very few others, to have enjoyed a feeling of wonder, joy, and pride, which was so intense the words cannot describe."
Gravità permanente che non mi faccia mai cambiare idea sulle cose, sulla gente. Avrei bisogno di gravità permanente che non mi faccia mai cambiare idea sulle cose, sulla gente. Over and over again.
second spacewalk of the Volare mission, astronaut Luca had to solve a serious problem. Because of a blockage of the drum holes in an EMU water separator, water spilled into a vent loop and made its way into my helmet. My microphone and headset went out. I could no longer see, I was blind, and even breathing was not easy. I had about a liter of water in my helmet, and getting back to the airlock was quite adventurous. He made it though, and returned to Earth safely on November the 11th, 2013. He did not lose his cool and handled everything perfectly. He stayed in control, did not panic, and followed procedures. It had happened to him many years before, May the 11th, 2005. The captain was in Belgium when his aircraft hit a large bird, probably a stork. The cockpit was almost completely destroyed. The radio was not working, and it seemed that the only choice he had was to parachute himself out of the aircraft. But that was not for him. Luca Parmitano, a Sicilian with nerves of steel, when faced with complex situations, performs at his best. He managed to land, bringing himself and his plane home. Training makes you able to manage fear. It gives you knowledge. Fear is generated by ignorance. The more you study, the more you know, the less you fear, Luca said. It was a feat that earned him the silver medal to the military valor.
Reach out, touch faith.
It came on July the 20th, 2019, exactly 50 years from the landing of the first man on the moon, when he was assigned his second mission. 6 years after Volare, Luca was selected to be part of ESA's Beyond mission, during which he became commander of the International Space Station. He spent 201 days in space, performing complex extravehicular activities to repair the alpha magnetic spectrometer, a cosmic particle detector. It was a truly troublesome operation that made it possible to repair and turn on again a $2 billion machine that is an instrument that hunts for particles and dark matter and contributes to advanced research programs designed to understand the origin of the universe. An operation carried out at an altitude of 400 kilometers, hurtling at 28,800 kilometers per hour and making a complete orbit of the Earth every 90 minutes, switching from day to night in the blink of an eye. Repairing the spectrometer required 4 spacewalks totaling 25 hours and 30 minutes, during which Parmitano was secured by his feet to the robotic arm in order to operate close to the 8-ton heavy machine, a feat so extraordinary that the Nobel laureate in physics Samuel Ting publicly thanked him. Up above in space, we do not see only our planet Earth, but also the devastating effects that hurricanes and floods have on it. In an interview with Famiglia Cristiana, Luca Parmitano said, "It's inevitable to think that the increase in the frequency and intensity of what is happening is due to an increase in the carbon dioxide which human activity has put into the atmosphere. I'm a father of 2 girls, and I believe in the future. We must unite to fight this global enemy." The issue of climate change is particularly close to Parmitano's heart, who in 2019 addressed the participants in COP25, the UN World Summit, by video conference. He asked the world community to show more commitment and provide more funding to be able to see more. At the moment, we only look at what happens today or tomorrow, said Colonel Parmitano. But this is a very restrictive way of thinking that risks locking us in a cage. Instead, we need to have a vision looking forward to the next 10 or 20 or 50 years. What we must do is to take a very difficult challenge and turn it into an opportunity to grow. Take an obstacle and turn it into a step forward in evolution. Today's sacrifices will help us be better tomorrow. A key role is played by technology, such as environmentally sustainable transportation or clean energy or aerospace research itself.
One step beyond!
Luca Parmitano elaborated further. What we do on the International Space Station is for Earth and for humankind. Working on the orbital outpost is the only way to understand what scientific knowledge and what technologies we need to be able to push forward. Our planet is unique. We don't have another one. We have to defend and protect it. Knighted in the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic in March 2013, he was chosen by the Renzi government as the ambassador of the 6-month Italian presidency of the Council of the European Union in April 2014, as an example of talent and competency. In the same year, the astronaut published the volume Volare, 166 Days with Luca, an account of his experience as a member of Expedition 3637. In September 2022, President Mattarella awarded him the honor of Knight of the Grand Cross in the Order of the Republic. In the same year, he also received an honorary degree in economics and management from LUMSA University for dedicating his life to exploration and innovation. These are the reasons. By his shining example and attention to the extreme effects of climate change and his determination to support the studies of less fortunate young people, he has developed scientific and social merits that make him a charismatic personality of high human and professional value. Luca Parmitano sees far and sees beyond. He puts in passion, expertise, knowledge, and above all, love and hope. Two rare qualities, the ones that make us special beings.
It certainly is a tough road to take. It can be hard. But if I made it to this point, then you can certainly do it as well. What I recommend is to do something that you love and to love what you do. Because it's the only way to be good. And I think it's important, especially for an astronaut, to be really good at what you do.
Thanks for listening to Luca, an Italian Space Agency's podcast, The Characters and Exploits of Man's Great Adventure to Conquer Space. Script, Daniela Amenta. Post-production, Paola Pagone. Editorial coordination, Giuseppina Pulcrano and Manuela Proietti.